We are on US Route 67 North, and this marks the beginning of the site, 054023. This is again a jointed plain concrete section. We observed joint seal damage from medium to high severity with a handful in the low severity range. Faulting was at a minimum for this site at the joints, the highest being 2, and if I remember right, there were only 2 or 3 that were 2. The rest were 0s, and there were a couple of joints that were 1. We observed a couple of places where some patching had been done. Station 1. This is an example of a low severity joint seal damage. The joint seal remains typically within the joint. However, a majority of the joints were like this one here, somewhat thinner and missing joint seal in over 10% of the length of the joint. Again, very little faulting on any of the joints. Again, another joint which we deemed a moderate severity joint seal damage, where some of the joint seal was missing. Station 2. Again, in the wider joints, we found them to be low severity joint seal damage. They seem to have been able to hold the joint seal better than the narrower joints. Almost all of the narrower joints, I'm talking those joints that were 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch wide, almost all of them were missing areas of joint seal. Here's the first patch that I mentioned. The patch covers an area halfway into the lane, approximately 6 feet just prior to station 3. And again, another narrow joint with joint seal missing intermittently. And the patch, fairly large patch. What they did here is they ended up replacing an entire panel to 2 panels. It expands beyond this joint and clear to the next. As you can see, I'll come back, the patch exhibits a tremendous amount of map cracking over the entire area. Station 4, we saw no cracking other than that was exhibited in the patches themselves. Again, another one of the wider joints. This joint is approximately 3/4 of an inch in width, and the plane just flew overhead. This joint was able to maintain its joint seal compound. And this marks the end of the 500-foot GPS site. Again, we're in the northbound lane, West Route 67.